But I think one of the depressing things is that you talk about a lot of things you do on behalf of different people, and you just use your own, I guess, knowledge to tell them to go this place or that place for relief. Sometimes you lead them right up to it, and you help them, and then they don't see fit to join the NAACP. And I know that happens throughout the country because when we go to these conventions, we hear of other state presidents, local presidents, having the same experience. That a lot of times people are getting monetary, you know, benefits and everything, and still those people won't come back and take out NAACP membership. George has talked about people that's coming up his driveway in Cadillacs and want NAACP support. But then again, you can help them all all you can, and a lot of them aren't appreciative enough to take out a membership. I remember one particular case of two individuals working on state road projects right in this section of West Virginia. They complained about their treatment. We told them to go to Human Rights Commission. Human Rights Commission looked at their cases and say, look, you have the right to sue. So then we went and suggested lawyers that they could go to. And these two people went and got themselves a lawyer. And the lawyer won the case and a considerable amount of award for him. I haven't seen those guys from that particular day. They got the money and run.
Big money.
Big money. And in some instances, they come back to you 2 or 3 times. After they get the money, then they'll come back to you again. So I think that's the downside of the work that we do. Is that people don't recognize and won't, we aren't doing it for ourselves. We're saying the organization is responsible for this, helping you through.
We have gotten we got millions of dollars for people through our complaint process. The biggest was the apple drawers, which was amounted about maybe $6 or $7 million, and we had never received 1 penny from any of them. It's just except from 2 girls gave us money, and they got small amounts, but they gave us money. But no, we have helped people get a whole lot of money. I guess what really disturbed me is now people come and they expect you to handle the case. Even when people call from out of state, someone called from Colorado, they expect you to stop everything you're doing and go to Morgantown to check on their son because he's been discriminated against. And they call back, and they call any time of night.
Well, a lot of them are like the calls from Morgantown. Clearly, they're calling for somebody who's in the jail, the federal jail up there around Morgantown. And we don't have that many lawyers that deal with civil rights cases. So that's another hindrance that we have. But I think that West Virginia being located where it is, between Ohio and Maryland, Virginia, a lot of them think they can come to West Virginia and do what they want. And, if they get caught, they think there'll be some support. But we can't always promise them that support. One of the most depressing things, I think, that has happened to me, at least happened to West Virginia and NAACP, they had a very, very active NAACP chapter down at in the women's prison, and we used to go down there all the time. Alderson, West Virginia. I mean, this is a federal prison, and those women down there had a very, very active group that done a lot of self-help, helping people read and handle their business and things like that. And the warden was a black warden, Gwen Sizer Washington. And every time, she was very, very active with the branch. Every time we had a convention or a big meeting, she would bring some of the inmates with her.
Yep.
Very, very, fine women. and they're very involved in everything. And then she was transferred to another prison somewhere, I think out west, and the incoming warden down there just kind of stopped everything. I would call him on the telephone, wouldn't answer the telephone, wouldn't answer letters or anything else. So I think that women's prison chapter in ACP did a whole lot down there to help rehab the women. And afterwards, after Ms. Washington left, there was absolutely no connection with that group again. And one of the women that helped there was a former wife of the mayor of Washington, Marion Barrett.
Yeah.
His wife was down there. She was very, very active, very vocal, could do a lot of things, very talented. And, excuse me, after that, after she was released, but she left records and everything else down there. But I was very, very proud, and I tell you what happened, how that chapter got started. Ms. Ben Hooks came up here to West Virginia and presented them their charter. They wanted to be chartered as an ACP prison group. And Ben Hooks' wife came up there, and she was always very, very interested in that group down there. But this was a federal prison, and they were top workers.
We even had banquets there. We were going there for luncheon.
You're right.
When those ladies came out to the state convention, you would never realize that they were inmates.
No. And they had a lot of them well educated, could speak well and everything. But it just shows what can happen when, you get leadership in there that's not supportive of civil rights and think that, their way or no way.